and welcome to the Jumoke Adeyemi podcast. I'm so delighted to be in your space, and thank you so much for allowing me to come into your space today. We're looking at a very important and beautiful subject today, and that is the qualities of a woman worth finding. Yeah, we've got 21 qualities of a woman worth finding. And we'd have part one and part two of this, and you really, really don't want to miss any part of it. So, what are the qualities of a woman worth finding, worth waiting for, a woman that a man would love to have as a wife? We're not talking girlfriend, we're talking about wife. First, one attribute or quality that is very attractive to men that we found out is that she is kind. A woman who is kind will be attractive to almost anybody. You know, people who are kind are drawn to people. So when a woman is kind, she's beautiful, she's classy, she's this, and she's kind, even if she's not physically beautiful. You know, a kind heart is one that people always like to talk about. Kindness is one quality or one attribute that melts people's heart towards you. And so when a woman is kind, when you're a kind lady, when you're a kind woman, even people who are married are attracted to you, and they recommend you, they're able to recommend you to someone that they love or stuff like that. And so when a woman is kind, talking about kindness now reminds me of Rebecca in Genesis chapter 24. You know, the servant of Abraham had been asked by his master to go look for a wife for his son Isaac. And Abraham has sent out Eliezer, his servant, to go look for a wife for Isaac, his son. And when he came to this place where there were ladies, you know, by the well in the land where Abraham, his master, had sent him to, Eliezer noticed that there was this lady, because he had prayed. See, even men, really good men, you know, men who really want to have a good wife, they pray to God to lead them to the right woman. And so he had prayed that God will help him choose, the God of Abraham, his master, will help him choose a wife for the master's son, Isaac. And here comes Rebecca, you know, who offers. There were other women. She wasn't the only one there, but she was the one that reached out to this man, showed kindness to him, you know, offered to draw water for 10 camels. I mean, that is a sermon. I've preached from this passage of scripture several times, and there are gems in there, you know, that you can learn and glean from. She offers to draw water for him, and then his 10 camels. I mean, in a desert, a woman who is able to draw water for 10 camels, like, you know, filling 10 drums of water, because camels, after a long journey, can finish one drum of water, one camel. And so she was that gracious, she was that kind. She greeted him well, you know, showed kindness to him, gave him water, gave his camels water to drink, you know, and he just stood there and was wondering, oh my goodness, what kind of woman is this? This must be the one. And after that encounter, you know, he asked what was her father's house. She told him, and then he gave her gifts, you know, golden earrings and stuff like this. And the rest is history. Eventually, Rebecca became Isaac's wife. And why did I say this? I just remembered that kindness that she showed was the pathway she didn't realize, because as she was drawing that water, sometimes when you're kind, in kindness, things, you even get hurt. But what Rebecca probably didn't realize was that the camels that caused her hands to hurt from drawing a lot of water were the camels that took her to her destiny, took her to, you know, her husband's house. So sometimes when we're kind to people, we do not know, we do not recognize or realize that in being kind to somebody, that person we're showing kindness to will make recommendations of us to the person that God is sending us to. And sometimes in being kind, you know, it's not convenient. It's not easy to be kind sometimes. We have to go out of our way to do things for people. Go out of your way by all means. Be kind to people. You just never know. Who knows whether your husband, your wife can come out of that act of kindness towards maybe their aunt, their sister, their cousin, their friend. Just be nice. Like I always say again, courtesy is not costly. Be courteous to people, be kind. Kindness is attractive to the soul, is attractive to the heart. And when a woman is kind, she grabs the heart of people around her. They remember, everybody remembers kindness, people who have been kind to them. Second, number two, she has a sense of humor. Women who have a sense of humor is another thing that colors your personality. Your persona is rightly perceived. You get drawn to people. People feel drawn to you when you have a sense of humor. You make them laugh. When people are happy around you, they want to come around you. They're happy. We shouldn't be over serious. I remember when I was younger and when I started, when I first got married, I used to be very serious. I mean, serious about literally everything. I thought seriousness was life. And my husband would say to me sometimes, girl, you need to chill. You need to take it easy. Like a young boy said some years ago, you need to be calming down. Life is not serious all the time. Yes, there's a time to be serious, but there's also a time to laugh. If you have a sense of humor, even if you don't, just learn to be pleasant. Pleasantness, joy, happiness makes people feel attracted to you. Number three, she's confident. A woman who is confident in herself, not pride, not arrogance, not wearing shoulder pad and trying to boss everybody around. No. Class with confidence. Simplicity with class. Confidence in the grace that you carry. Confidence in your femininity. Confidence in the beauty that God has given you, the graciousness that you carry. That confidence is attractive. When you're confident, you're not looking down on people out of pride, and you're not looking down that you're shy and everything, but there's a sense of simplicity with confidence to you. That is a very, very great thing that men also find very attractive. You can be simple, you can be humble, but be confident. The fourth thing that I believe men are looking for, which we found as responses from men when we ask this question, is that she's empathetic. Men are drawn to women who are empathetic. We are all drawn to people who empathize with us. Empathy is basically you showing concern for the other person's feelings and, leaning in to show understanding about what they're going through. Men will always, not want to show emotions. Most men don't want to show emotions, even when they're going through hard times. But you leaning in to be empathetic and everything is one of the attractions that, men want in a woman they're looking for. Number five, she's courageous. Courageous isn't pride as well. Courageous means you are someone who is not afraid to be herself, to pursue her dreams and everything, but with a lot of humility, with a lot of grace. Being courageous means that you are this person who isn't afraid to be, everything that you ought to be yourself, your authentic self, before people. You have some grit to be who God has called you to be, who God has made you. And that is attractive. Why? Because it gives you authenticity. It makes people know that you're real, you're who you are. You're not trying to present to a man what you think he needs, whereas he will eventually now find out that you are faking it. No. Be courageous to be everything that God has made you and who you are. Number six, she's a good listener. Let me tell you what. Men love women who listen, and I would add, listen with a smile. Be spontaneous, but be a listener, Every one of us wants to pour out our hearts, to someone who's close, to someone who we feel will listen. And when we go through things, we want to have someone who can listen to us. And so a good listener, a woman who is a good listener, is a great attraction to men. They want people who can listen to them, listen to their pain, listen to their dreams, listen to, the things he wants to do, and be an encourager, somebody who validates you, who encourages you, who cheers you on, you know, that's attractive to a man. So, number 7, she's an intelligent communicator. It's important for a man that you are intelligent in your communication, in your interactions. Men want to, have conversations, meaningful conversations with a woman who is attractive and also intelligent, beauty and brain. So if you're an intelligent communicator, he's saying something and you have an idea about it, you have something to say, even the ones you do not know, be honest that you like to learn, but do your research, and even if you don't know, be intelligent in the way you communicate about it. It's very important to men that they find women who are intelligent communicators. The next one is a very wonderful one, and that is she's truthful and honest. Authenticity. You're a honest person, you're truthful. You don't want to tell a man lies, because you know what, I mean, either ways, whether women or men, you don't want to lie to anyone, because somehow they'll find out truth is something you can't bury. I've heard about women who lie about their background just to impress a man. You don't need all of that. Listen, if you are from Ajegunle, it's okay. If he wants you, he must want all of you with where you're from. It's not about your background, but it's who you have evolved to become, the potentials inside of you. I mean, there are people who come from poor background, less privileged background, but they have talents, they have gifts, they're confident in their talents, they have a vision, and that's what drives them. And where you come from doesn't smell on you. It's not smeared on you, and you don't reflect where you're coming from. You're speaking and nobody can tell, oh, you're from this place or from that. It's not your background that matters. It's your present, your vision, and the future that you portray to people that makes you attractive. So it's not forming. It's not trying to want to be, or, no, all those I put off. Be your authentic self. Be truthful and be honest about who you are. But let it be the beautiful part of your persona. Let it be the great part of you that is coming out. Let people see your vulnerability. We're all human. We're vulnerable. Be honest. Be truthful. Be sincere. And I must mention that some people want to take advantage of honest people. It is to their detriment, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be taken advantage of. They're smart enough to know that someone wants to take advantage of them. And if you want to play this game, you probably would lose that person anyways. So it's important to show authenticity, to show honesty, and be truthful. Don't try to collect money from a man to go and buy something and lie that you want to do a project with it, yet maybe you want to buy maybe a wig or something that is trending. No, because someday he's going to find you out and he's going to detest or disrespect you for that. Number 9, she has some level of independence. A woman who has a level of independence is attractive to a man. And this is what I mean. When a woman is not doty, she's not all over him. If you're too available, you are too all over him. After a while, he will get tired of you. If you're just too available, too there, too present, too everywhere, you're going there today to go and cook, you're going there tomorrow to go and cook. Come on. You need to take it easy. Sometimes it's important for us to be not too in people's face, be a little scarce. When women are like that, men treasure them. It's something that is kind of attractive. Women who are too available, after a while, you lose your value. because if you are an everyday thing, you lose your value. Diamonds, gold, they are not in common places, and that's something to think about. Number 10, your best friend. People want to find a friend. They want to date a friend. They want to marry somebody who is their friend, somebody who is your bestie. In other words, you have made yourself a woman who can make herself a friend, not a mother, not a big sister, and maybe certainly not a small sister, but a friend. Someone who you're free with, someone who you can tell your heart, you can tell your dreams, you can tell your shortcomings, someone who doesn't judge you, someone who just loves you for who you are, someone who is unconditional about their love, just your friend. Everybody is attracted to this kind of person. If they find this kind of person, it's attractive. Somebody who is a safe space, who is a haven of peace, who is a friend. And then the next one, number 11, is a lady who is supportive of his dreams, supportive of things he's doing. And of course, may I say that in this view, it has to be that both of you are in alignment in what it is that he's doing or what you're doing. Amos 3:3 says, can two work together except they be agreed? So for you to support something, it must be something that you are in agreement with. In other words, you don't want to date a man or a woman that what it is that they do is not something you support, is not in your value system, is not, something that you can beat your chest to. And so men are attracted to women who are supportive, who believe in them, who doesn't look down on them, who is not condescending, who is not judgmental, And I think women love the same, but I think especially men love to find women who are supportive in whatever it is that they're doing. Number 12. This is interesting. Men love women who are romantic. And let me say this. Romantic doesn't mean a woman who gives herself. As a Christian woman, romantic is not sex. As a Christian man, romantic is not sex or smooshing. No. Romantic is, with Christian values, somebody who is not, just dry and laid back, somebody who probably would remember, little things to show that they care, sending nice notes, sending, things that things that are dear to that person's heart, showing kindness, showing love, the love of God. Being romantic, I wouldn't say it in the trending sense of, sex or all of those kind of things is what you need to show that you're romantic. No, sending cards, buying gifts for the men. And let me say something to us women. I know that we expect men to give us gifts, but nobody wants to be in a relationship where they are always the only one giving. Be in a relationship with somebody who is always taking, and never gives back. No. It's very, very important that we learn to give. Yes, the men would want to, and I know that there are men who always want to collect things from women. Nah. No, that's not a real man. A real man is responsible. He wants to take care of his woman. He is there to protect her. He wants her to know that he's a man indeed, and he's a man of substance. Odogu is what Igbo brethren call them. Yes. But in spite of all of this, men also want people who give. It's romantic to give something that will be valuable, that the person loves, It's all not physical. Romantic is not physical. Every man also wants to hear the woman say some nice things about him. All those romantic things, that are scriptural. You want to show, those kind of things to a man, maybe buy him gifts, make him t-shirts, make him, something that would make him know that you are mindful of him, you see him, he's in your heart, he's in your mind, just like we want gifts. I think men also want to receive something that tells them that, we're not just receivers and takers. We also want to give back. Number 13, and that's where we're going to stop in this episode. The part 2 would continue in part 2. But for the last point, number 13, in this part 1, is respect. A woman who respects herself and respects the man. I always say that respect is something that you cannot take from a man. You cannot substitute respect with love. It doesn't matter how much you love a man. If you don't respect that man, something could go down. Men, there's a way that God has put inside every man, his ego, and that need for respect. And that's why the Bible says in the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, that women should, the wife should respect her husband. The wife should submit to her husband. Submission is not being trampled over. Submission is not being robbed of esteem. Submission submission means to willingly bring yourself to respect someone. And a person who will be respected also must act in respectful ways, must communicate respect. And so, no matter how much you love a man, understand that you cannot substitute that for respect. Love is different, respect is different. Yes, you love him, but he wants to feel respected by you. So women who makes the man feel respected, of course, will definitely be attractive to him. And that's why some men are attracted to women who are lesser than them, and the wife is wondering what's going on. It's because he feels respected by that lady. And it's something that is very, very attractive to the heart of a man, respect. But you cannot give what you don't have. So first of all, it's important that he sees that the woman respects herself, the way she carries herself, the way that she presents herself. There's a way that self-respect is perceived. People will know when you respect yourself. There's a way, when you respect yourself, you respect others. There's a way you don't talk down on others. There's a way you talk about yourself. There's a way. This is not pride. This is self-respect, where you're not going to be allowing people to touch you anywhere. I remember when we were young, way younger, there was this gentleman, I don't know if to call him a gentleman, who always hits ladies in their boobs and stuff like that, and their bums and everything. And I found that to be so disgusting. And believe it or not, one day he wanted to try it with me. I was livid. I held his hand and said, don't you ever try that with me. Ever. Because all the times he's been doing, and he'll do that to some ladies, and then, listen, you need to show that you respect yourself by the way you carry yourself. A woman who respects herself doesn't allow just anybody to do anything to her. A woman who respects herself is not loud, whether in private or public. A woman who respects herself doesn't talk any kind of way. All of these are things that the men are looking out for. They may be watching, they may not tell you, their friends are watching, everybody is watching. But, self-respect, if you have it, you'll be able to give it to somebody else. And when a man feels respected by you, he's deeply attracted to you. We're going to stop here and continue in part 2. So please don't miss part 2. It's going to be amazing. Have a great day. Please don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to comment and share this YouTube page. God bless you and have a fantastic rest of the day.